Hi, Allison Gaulden here, APR. I'm here to talk to you today a little bit about negotiation and how to address your salary needs. I know it could be kind of difficult in the middle of what looks like a recession, but you still have the tools that you need to ask for what you can when it's appropriate. The first thing you got to know is, what is your number? You need to know what it is that you need for your budget. You should compare and do your research on what other people in the industry who have the same job titles as you have. You want to look at keyword content in other jobs that you are either applying for and moving up, or that you are currently at, and see what are the things that you're doing that those jobs are looking for at the salary that you're looking for. So if you want to move up to PR manager, you really want to be able to look at what other PR managers doing, what skills do you have. And then the next thing you need to do is rank your skills. Define out of the things that people are looking for, figure out and weight what, from a scale of, make it arbitrary, make a scale from 1 to 5, figure out what it is that you are good at, especially compared to the list of the job titles and the keyword content for the job opportunities, and rank them. You know, if it's number 1 is you're the best and number 5 is you could use a little work, go through and try and be open. For women, we have the hardest time recognizing what we're worth and what we're good at. So really try and think about, are you really good at what you can do? As soon as you rate this, this will help you in all negotiations, whether you're doing it for a salary promotion or you're in the midst of doing an interview and negotiating for that first position. Rank your skills. And then determine the job range. You have to do your research. What they're paying here in Reno is not the same as what they're paying in New York, is not the same as what they're paying in Omaha, Nebraska. So wherever it is you are, wherever you are looking to enhance your skills, where you're trying to go, can do a comparison. You have to do your research. For those of us in the PR field, research is everything. Then you really have to embrace your worth. You want to be confident that you are worth what you're going to ask for. Many women are encouraged to just, we have the Cinderella syndrome. If you just ask for it, your prince will come, or if you just wait for it. But that doesn't always work. You really kind of have to step up and ask. So be confident in what you're good at. Value the education that you have. Value the skills that you bring to the table. Do that skills ranking so that you can really define, what are you good at, what makes you good at it, what makes you stand out better than anyone else. And then be choosy. Again, in a recession that sounds like, or a pending recession, that sounds like something that could be very frightening and very nerve-wracking, but you don't want to just take a job that you're going to be miserable at. So try and be choosy. However, you do have to be realistic. So you want to inhale confidence and exhale doubt. Really know the number that you need. So for people who are getting their first position, know what the job market is, sure, but also know, what is your budget? What is the cost of living there? What do you need for the lifestyle that you think is realistic? Do you need to have 10 roommates? Well, what do you need if you have 10 roommates? Would you like to live on your own? What do you need to have what you want to live on your own? There's a great tool called paycheckcity.com that will tell you what your take-home pay is going to be for a salary. So for those of you who are, math is not your forte, it's a great way to figure out, well, what will I take home so that I know what my budget is. So set this minimum number and know that that's what you want to ask for. The true trick to knowing, to getting what you want, is knowing what you can get. So salary, first and foremost, is something that you can ask for. But maybe there's things like overtime. Maybe there's a bonus, whether it's an annual bonus or a signing bonus. Maybe there's a retirement match. Maybe further down the road, or depending on where you are in your career, there's stock options that could be an opportunity. But there's also some other things that you can ask for that may be worth as much, if not more, than some actual cash on hand. That could be travel awards, moving assistance, maybe expenses and meals if you're having to travel for work or meet with people. Now that we're doing it virtually, that may not be so immediate. But health insurance is something that isn't guaranteed for small businesses. Maybe it's mental health services. Maybe your cell phone. Maybe there's something like a professional development program such as the PRSA, Public Relations Society of America. Maybe you can have your membership paid for, or ongoing education classes if you need to finesse your graphic skills, what have you. Maybe gym membership could be something that is part of the program. Some non-monetary skills are a title. Title can make you feel more confident about the position and make you feel valued. I mentioned some training, education. Sometimes employers are willing to invest in employees adding to their list of skills. Maybe the telecommuting, we've all figured out that we can work from home because we've had to. Maybe you negotiate how you do that more regularly as we go forward. So you have a plan. To do the actual negotiation, the thing you need to know is the first person who mentions money loses. I call it money chicken. You want to avoid salary discussion, and this can be on paper where you are filling out an application and they've asked what your past salary has been. They ask you that because the industry wants to just say, oh, well, she's worked for $8.25 an hour. She'll be tickled pink with 10. Well, you got an education and you have bills to pay and whatnot, and maybe you should make more than $10 an hour based on your education and your skills and what you bring to the table. So you really want to even avoid trying to put that on an application form if you're required. Sometimes during the middle of the interview, they will, the industry will ask you, you know, we're very interested in you. What would it take to accept a job offer? Again, you want to avoid the actual number. You don't want to discuss salary until both of you know that it's worth it. They want you, you want them. You can say something to the effect, I'm very interested and I'm glad to respond to a specific offer, or we can reach an agreement with a fair offer, or something to that effect. Sometimes they really want to say, no, really, we want to know what your number is, because, you know, if they have two talented people and you want 50 and the other person wants 40,000 a year, they might go with the person who's 40,000 a year. So you want to go in prepared and really research and know what the range for your job position to be. And you would then indicate, my research indicates the range for this job would be X, would be reasonable. But you want to provide a range. You have to be patient and you have to believe. So, you know, you get through the interview, they want you, they love you, or your boss, you've been there 5 years and you're ready for something else. The hard part is, you know, they're going to call you up at an inconvenient time and they're going to say, hey, we love you. We want you to come work with us. We want you to start on Tuesday. This is what we want to offer you. The hard part is not immediately saying no, especially with a pending recession looming and curiosity, you know, worry about a job. But You want to take a deep breath, and you want to say the nice things, and think about it. You want to certainly say, I'm very excited about this opportunity. I really need to think about what you have presented to me, and give yourself some time. And the reason you do that is, in the excitement of the moment, you don't want to just say yes, because you've lost your ability to negotiate. So you want to give yourself the time to actually look at what they've offered you. Does it meet your number? How close is it to your number? What else can you ask for? So you want to try and practice this ahead of time, so that when the time comes and they actually make the call or they send you that email, then you have the ability to ask for the time and wait. You want to essentially give yourself the time to psych yourself up, so that you can then in turn go make the ask for the offer that you would like. So you call them up, and you've done your penciling. You figured out what your number is, what the number is that you want. What you shouldn't do is just accept, oh, that's great. It doesn't hurt to ask. I have rarely, not never, but rarely seen someone ask for more money and not get the opportunity to get it. The hard part is, you will ask, so you call them up and you say, Company X, I'm really excited about this opportunity. Can you see your way to giving me $5,000 more, or $4,000 more, or $10,000 more than what you offered, whatever it is? I wouldn't go much more than $10,000 unless you can really prove it, and you know exactly that your skills are unique and very different from what anybody else has to offer. But let's say you want to ask for $5,000 more. So they offered you 40, and you're going to say, can you see your way to $45,000? And then add whatever it is you want, my PRSA membership, and the cost of my cell phone, and the ability to telecommute 3 days a week. The thing is, once you make your ask, whatever it is, you need to shut up. You need to stop, because money chicken comes into play again. And they are thinking about it. While they're thinking, or they're penciling, or they're talking to their colleague or whatever, they're thinking about whether or not they can pull this off. You're thinking, oh my gosh, I have just asked for too much. They're going to say no. They're going to tell me we're going to, they think I'm a terrible person for asking. So your inclination is, but if you can't do that, then it's okay. No, whoever speaks first again loses. So just shut up, wait, let them tell you what it is that you need to hear. And that's the hard part. Sometimes they will say, well, we'll get back to you. So then you gotta wait. Sometimes they'll say, well, no, we really can't do that. We can only do the 40 that we offered you. And when they do that, you can ask for one more opportunity. You'll say, well, if I accept this position, can you consider a review in 3 months, or maybe 6 months after I've been there, and you can see that I'm actually going to be worth the salary that I'm asking for. So they may take that opportunity up or not, but you want to try and ask. After that, you're kind of done. Your negotiation, you just can't keep asking, and you can't keep nickeling and diming and asking again and again. So you really have these two opportunities. The initial ask is, let me think about it. Here's my counter when you call them up and you're confident, you're set, you're ready, and you call them up. And then what they come back with, the one counter. Those are your two opportunities, and that's kind of about it. So you want to, if they say, well, 45, maybe we can't do 45, but we can do 44 for whatever reason. Only you can decide if that is the amount that's going to work for you. But if you don't ask, I can tell you this, you're not going to get it. So when you go back and rate your skills. You'll want to, in the beginning, I told you, figure out what you're worth. You'll want to justify it when you make your ask. So you're going to say, could you see your way to giving me 45 because your application said you needed these top 3 skills, and those top 3 skills are the best things that I'm good at because I'm good at this. What you don't say is, well, I really need to cover the cost of living, moving to Seattle or wherever it is you're going to go. They're not interested in your personal life and how it affects you. They're looking at their bottom dollars and whether or not they can afford to take you on at that kind of a salary. So don't make it about you. Make it about the skills that you bring and give to them. So these rules will apply. The money chicken applies whether you're getting that first job or you're going to your boss after 5, 6, 8, 10 years and you want the next position and the next level, the next title, the next amount of money. Sometimes the answer is no. I can't guarantee you that it'll work, but I can guarantee you that if you don't ask, you certainly won't get it. And I have a great story that I tell of a student who she'd heard me have this speech, and she went to a town where she had the opportunity to go, and they offered her 30 grand, which was a few years ago, and at the time that was really good money. Or 35 grand. It was really good money. And but she, even her dad said never take the first offer, but 35 grand at the time was really good money. And so, but all these people said, yeah, take it, take it, take it. And she calls me up and she says, what do I do? And I said, what did I tell you? And she says, ask for more. And I said, yeah. She had found out that there was housing that she could get into, some subsidized housing, but she couldn't make more than $40,000 a year. So I said, ask for 39.5. You'll be under the limit of this organization that's covering your housing costs, but you'll get $4,500 more a year than what you're asking now. So she asked, and she got it. So I highly recommend that you take these, know your worth, know your number, do the rated scale, and then ask for what you want. Hope this has been helpful.